Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Fort Mill, South Carolina. It is semifinal Saturday. We've got two great matchups here in the ECBL, and thanks to everybody for joining us. The first game is going to be against the North Carolina Coyotes. They're kind of the underdogs in the tournament. They came in with a 6-6 record as they take on the Hickory Hoyas, who are at 10-2, and this will be the Northern Division Championship game first, and then coming up later on, we'll have a rematch of a game that I did along with my broadcast partner, Lauren Fody, between the Carolina Thunder and the Primetime Players that we did at this very same gym here on Bank Street Gym down here in Fort Mill a couple of weeks ago, and it's equally as hot today.
Yeah, definitely, but we got a nice fan going this time around that's blowing all our papers around, but that's all right. Hopefully it'll keep us cool on this hot afternoon.
But we were talking about it off the air, and we were talking about you can throw the records out the window this time of year. All you wanted to do is get in. You got in. You didn't have the best record, but if you're going to play your best basketball, this is going to be the time of year to do it. And for the Coyotes, they've eked their way. They're one win away from playing in the championship game.
Yeah, I think at this point it's important to throw away the records. You start off the playoffs with a 0-0 record. You don't worry about the targets on your back or anything like that. You're playing for a chance to win a championship. So you throw all that stuff that happened in the season, the regular season, out the window, and now it's time to play harder and tougher than you did for the entire season.
As they're getting set and they're announcing the starting lineups, and they just announced Justin Glover, guy that we're going to be keeping an eye on during the day, has quite a reputation for his aerial acrobatics, so maybe we'll get to see a few dunks from him today.
I hope so. That would be.
I hope so.
That'd make things entertaining. A lot more entertaining, actually.
It's incredible. I mean, these guys, all of them played a majority of college, whether it was Division I, D2, or at least at junior college level, and aren't that far removed. But I don't know that I could go over there and touch the bottom of the backboard right now. So if I had to jump up and do it, if I did, you'd have to cart me out.
I'll give you a little boost. I don't know if I could touch bottom of the rim. I might be able to touch bottom of the net.
But we are now set for the tip, and this is between the Coyotes and the Hoyas. This is for the Northern Division Championship, so someone will be taking home hardware at the end of this game. Coyotes in the blue with the white numbers. Hoyas in the gray with the yellow lettering. Ball's picked, taken away by Danny Sanders. And Sanders, interesting story, has a lot to prove, Lauren. He played on primetime last year. So he has hardware, and he decided to leave, and it wasn't he's looking forward as he fires up a three, but he misses, grabs his own rebound, puts it up again off the top of the backboard, scramble for the ball, and coming out of the pack.
That is one story I would love to sit down and ask him what his decision process was with that.
He just said that, he felt that there was a lot of talent, and there's still a lot of talent on that team, and he thought that that this was a good team as well, and he wanted to come over and play for him and challenge himself as we get the first three of the game. So Coyotes with the early lead with a lot of basketball to play. The foul on Keandre Marion. Picks up his first. It's inbounded by Robert Espinoza, son of the head coach of the same name, Robert Espinoza of the Coyotes. Has a twin brother. I don't see him on the roster today, but they both sometimes have played together at times this season. As the bucket by Rodney Colwood is up and good. Early 5-0 lead, looking good for the Coyotes. As Quay Fool gets the Hoyas on the board. Shot off the mark and rebounded. Guys starting to just continue to feel each other out here. Kind of still early in the afternoon. Just got here an hour before the game, warming up. And that bucket is true. And it is a 7-2 lead finally Glover does put up a shot. It's off the mark.
This isn't very fast-paced right now. It's very slow, kind of bringing the ball up, letting them set up in their defense. Even the fast breaks weren't fast.
You kind of wonder as the rebound heads the other way if we talk about how warm it is in here. This is an older gym here at Bank Street. This is the home gym of primetime players. The shot is up and good by Mays. And his three-pointer will knot it up at 7. And, maybe the pace is indicative of how guys feel that, listen, we're going to run ourselves out if we keep that pace. Now, the next game, I don't think they're going to care.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. But you also got to look at it. The Hoyas only have 1 sub.
The up and under in the dips doodle, and Keandre Marion is on the board. Yeah, very short bench today for the Hoyas. Step back by Marquis Bunn is true. So a little bit of trading baskets going on now. It's Fool in the corner. Man in his face and buries the 3.
Literally trading buckets here.
I mean, both these teams, ball picked off, shot from the wing by Espinoza, no good. Rebound by Glover, kicks it into the front court. Both these teams averaging in the 130s. Check that, the Coyotes are averaging about 120 a game. So this is probably around the pace that they want to keep it.
I don't think we're going to see as high as maybe what they're averaging today, just because of the heat and the fact that the Hoyas do have a pretty short bench. And I don't know how deep the Coyotes are going to go with their bench. So
at the buzzer, Colwood with the scoop shot. Sanders off the mark, doesn't draw iron. Quickly into the front court is Jarrett Johnson. And he's fouled. So on the court, you've got Jarrett Johnson, Robert Espinoza, Rodney Calwood, and Corey Evans for the Coyotes. And you've got Justin Glover, Clay Fuel, Keandre Marion. As Marion will come over and talk to the head coach of the Hoyas, Jeff Newman. The second free throw by Johnson is true, and we're knotted at 12 at the 7-minute mark. Mays with the deep 3. Rebound headed the other way, Jarrett. Espinoza backing down his man, unable to hit the little baby sky hook. And a quick 3 by Fuel. So Fuel now with a couple of 3s in the game. The methodical pace by the Coyotes wanting to keep this game low scoring. The shot clock's now down to 6. Got to put it up. Side step or the Euro step. Maybe an extra step. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Look good from here.
Either way, Colwood will add to his tally. Picks up 2. Reach around by Evans as he fouls Justin Glover. Ball came over in your lap.
I know. It's like they want me to play.
As we'll get a timeout. I know they wanted you to play. You should have gone out and taken a shot. 15-14, 5:52 to go. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com. back in Fort Mill as we almost got a dive on the floor. 2 players laying out of bounds. But we were almost a part of the action. Okay, now this is not getting funny. That was quick.
You had a pretty fast reaction to protect your computer.
I can't tell. Listen, I got to tell you, in 10 years of doing minor league baseball, I never even had a ball in the booth. And last year in Peoria, I got hit twice in the shoulder when it came through the booth, protecting my computer. The bucket is good, up and down by Rodney Colwood.
I've never seen you move that fast, Alan.
I did. I know. I can't. That and for chicken fried steak. This driving baseline is Fool, kicks out. Tried to get the ball to Glover. Now Glover gets underneath Corey Evans, and Evans fouled. Seesaw battle continues, 16-15. And they got the cheerleaders here and everything today. Nice. That's a pretty nice trophy they've got over there sitting on the desk.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it and run.
Camera guys get a shot of it.
Put it on my trophy case.
Hey, trophies are trophies. Deep shot, deep three by Colwood. No good. Glover looking to push, gets it in the front court to Green. Green back over. And Glover weaving his way through traffic. Draws the contact. Espinosa disagrees.
They all turned around and had a vocal, wasn't words, but maybe an oh to that call.
And the first shot by Glover is no good. Glover on the season. Pretty decent. Shooting about 80% from the line. The second one is good. Marquise Bunn slowly walks it up the court. Quick feed inside. Missed it point blank. Did Colwood. Now the ball rolls and trickles out of bounds. And then we're going to get a substitution as now Darren Howes will enter the game for the first time. He'll give Keandre Marion a rest.
Walking in nice and slow, the pace of the game.
Taking it down, exactly. Bunn thought about the shot. Finds a cutting Paul Wright, who's just entered into the game. His shot off the mark. I'm sure a little bit of this is nerves. Still feeling each other out.
Yeah.
As Espinoza will get a rest. That'll Darius Leonard get some time, and we saw this in warm-ups, the height advantage that the Coyotes have.
But they haven't really been using it. Not to this point, at least.
Glover fakes, drives baseline. Looked like Corey Evans may have got a piece of it, and coast to coast, wasting no time, is Paul Wright. 18-16. 3:45. Howes finds Sanders, swings it around a Fool, makes a fake, sidesteps. It'll be a 2 if it goes. And we're knotted up again. And the leading scorer right now is Quay Fool. And the shot by Bunn, true. Three no good. And Glover with the out of control foul.
I mean, that's kind of hard. He was jumping for the rebound.
two guys fighting for it. Exactly. Ends up over the back.
Yeah. That's a tough, I mean, as a player, it's tough to control when you're already up in the air.
And you can't, well, and you can't, you don't want to say, well, don't, lower your effort level.
Yeah.
For fear of,
getting a foul.
And we're off and running. Sanders stops 1-on-2, buries the three.
Interesting.
And Glover will get one back. Sets his feet. And he's run over by Paul Wright. Charge going the other way. 2:42 to go here in the first quarter. 1 point advantage for the Hoyas. But a lot's happened since we started. We had hockey finals. We had basketball finals.
Barely. I don't know if you could call that finals.
They were still finals. Somebody went home with a ring.
Yeah.
Went all the way back out to California to the All-Star team out there.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what moves are going to be made this offseason.
Well, they're talking about your Knicks. They're trying to get LeBron to your Knicks.
Let's make it happen. Do I have to write a letter? I will.
Is Dolan going to pay that money as the deep three is buried?
They should. I mean, they took the Liberty out of MSG, so he should have some money. I think they moved the WNBA team to the Westchester County Center instead of playing in MSG.
Is there some sarcasm there?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of anger wanting to go to MSG?
Yes.
But
they're part of the original WNBA, and you're going to move them to a place where high school finals are played.
Well, hey, at one time there was a four-time the only champion running, and they're not in Houston anymore, so. 27-21, under 2 minutes to go. Shot by Will Griffin, no good. Zeke Mays with the deep three, off the front of the iron. No good, 1-on-4 when he took that up. The alley-oop, can't handle the pass. A little too tall.
Too long and
too tall.
Oh. That was interesting. I don't think that's a foul. I think he just lost control.
As Griffin will pick himself up off the ball. Minute 19 to go. 6-point advantage for the Hoyas as they'll give Justin Glover a little breather. And Griffin goes to the line where he'll shoot a pair. Griffin, a 70% free throw shooter on the season. One of the smallest guys on the court.
Yeah. And it's funny,
5'6".
when we were talking about the height advantage, I was like, except for one player, but that's okay.
Sanders stops, feeds underneath. No good. And quickly moving up the court was Griffin, and he drops it off to the trail man Wright. Pace beginning to pick up as we're at 60 seconds to the end of the first quarter.
Now we're seeing some fast-paced movement.
Faulkner's shot no good, but there to clean it up was Paul Wright, and he is quickly coming into the game, and he has 6 points. 27-26. Danny Sanders with a deep three off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Leonard. See the cheerleaders starting to warm up. We're probably going to get a dance theme here in about 15 seconds. 2 seconds difference on the shot clock. 10. Now it's under 8. Drives, and the shot is blocked out of bounds. Keandre Marion. He'll stay down here with 6 on the clock. 7 seconds on the game clock. Now they're going to talk about it. Make sure that everybody knows there's 1.6 seconds difference. Quick inbound pass, shot, no good. We're going to get a foul. And Fuel taking an advantage as he bumps into Callwood. Callwood looking in disgust, saying he ran into me. He's smaller than me.
And the referee's explaining, got him with the body. He turned into it. So it's still a foul no matter what.
Second shot is true. Deep shot at the buzzer, and that's no good. And so the Hoyas will take a 2-point advantage at the end of the first quarter. We'll take a quick break along with them, and we'll have more ECBL basketball coming up on netcastsports.com. Welcome back, everybody, to semifinal Saturday here on netcastsports.com. Got the Hickory Hoyas and the NC State, wow, listen to me calling them the Coyotes, North Carolina Coyotes, although I would imagine NC State, Wolfpack, Coyote, probably close to the same, and we are in that neck of the woods. 28-26 Hoya advantage. Winner of this goes on to the finals to face the winner of our next game, and we get a hard foul as Danny Sanders hits the deck hard, but he'll get the harm and go to the line. Shooting two as the ball trickled out. Coming up after this one is a rematch of last year's semifinals between the Carolina Thunder and the Primetime Players. They have met 3 straight years in the playoffs. And the Primetime Players have won all 3 times. So there's a little bit of a grudge match going on there as ball's corralled by Wright. Wright feeds it down low, taken away by Fool. A little bit of pressure in the front court now. Ball gets away. A little bit of sloppy. It's a 2-on-1 the other way, and the smallest man on the court picks it up. And Will Griffin picks up another couple of points here. 29-28. You kind of wondered if the Coyotes might increase that defensive intensity as the deep three by Glover is good. His first 3 of the game. I mean, just for sheer numbers.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the bench to extend and play or even press on their defense. So they might do that to extend their lead a little bit going into the halftime.
Griffin with the 3 stays a 1-point advantage to the Hoyas, so neither team giving much either way. Up and under by Glover, just a scorer now. He's want to get him going. He's the leading scorer on the team. He averages nearly 25 points a game. He's being guarded by Faulkner. Up, under. Oh, good. Kicked out. Love the shot. Right now, the Hoyas doing a fantastic job on the offensive boards, despite their lack of size. Quick pass into the front court. Easy layup for Corey Evans. Step back, 15-footer at the elbow. Rebound by Sanders. He's going to get fouled by Griffin.
I think they could have let that one go. Let him play, ref. Let him play.
Very physical game, though, to this point. We are going to get a timeout. We'll take a quick one, too. It's 34-33 Hoyas over the Coyotes. More ECBL basketball coming up on netcastsports.com. (34-33) from here in Fort Mill, South Carolina, game one of two semifinals you'll watch here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. You have other options you could be watching today. I'm sure we're pulling better ratings in the World Cup, though, right now.
We're starting to see the Coyotes extend their defense a little bit. They moved out of that 2-3 zone, which I like to see.
And I would see that if they man-to-man, again, just make the Hoyas work a little harder. They're not having to work for shots right now. It's only a 1-point game.
Extend it out. Use the legs that you have. Use your bench.
Ooh, off the glass, no good.
And push the ball.
And you have to look at Corey Evans always sprinting out on the break. Griffin draws the contact. He now has 10. 35-34. Sanders thought about it. And Fool with the points. Now has 12. Right. Too long.
That's one thing I want to see. I want to see the Coyotes kind of disrupt the pace that the Hoyas have. They're being able to set up their offense right now. I'd rather them push up on defense and stop the flow of their game, of the Hoyas game.
Intercepted by Sanders. Now I'm starting to see, and you just saw Zeke Mays point at the bench.
Wow.
As the bucket and the foul.
That was not smart.
And he's going to go to the line for the potential four-point play. But now you're seeing it. Zeke Mays, who played a majority of that first quarter, pointed over to Coach Newsom and said, I got to get out. I mean, they're 6 deep today.
That was not a smart foul. Grabbed his arm while he was up in the air.
I mean, if you're gonna foul him, don't even get the shot off.
Exactly. Especially a three-pointer, because then you're gonna risk the 4-point play. Technical.
And now, either Griffin.
Yeah.
So they just gave it to Griffin. He's still over there talking. So not only does this turn into a point in the game, because you already fouled the guy on the 3-point play, you sent him to the line. It turned into a 4-point play, and now you're going to be shooting technical fouls.
You know, emotions run high. Things get feisty on the court, but you got to keep yourself in check because you don't want to give out free points to a team, especially when the game is close and when there's a lot on the line.
Well, and if you go back, the Hoyas are not, I mean, as a team, as a team, they're only a 72% free throw shooting team, and they have not shot well today, which is part of the reason that the Coyotes have been able to hang around so long.
And they took Griffin out of the game, and he was the one that was really facilitating their offense, really pushing the ball. So now I'm wondering what's going to happen with the Coyotes while he's on the bench.
Well, the Hoyas now with their largest lead of the game at 5. And they get Rodney Cowwood for pushing off underneath under the offensive boards. And on the back heels of that technical, there is a lot of jawing coming down there from the Coyotes bench on the other end.
I don't know if there needs to be a timeout to get them situated, calm down a bit, but
Keandre Marion works it around. Floater leans inside, rattles out, can't get it to drop. Faulkner into the front court, and he'll get the bump foul. And the officials now, or they let him play a little bit, are going to have to get this under control. And Marion, he picks up his second foul. 7:21 mark, 40-35. I'm not making predictions, but this could be the first ECBL game I do this year that might not break the scoreboard at this pace.
I'm telling you, I think with the heat and the flow of the game, they're not gonna reach their average at all, either team.
Sanders off the mark. Rebound by Leonard. Deep three, rattles in and out. Rebound by Marion. Marion looks to push 1-on-2, had the extra man, decides to take it himself in the little finger roll. Caught the Coyotes running back down court with their backs turned. Up and under, and the foul, the hoop and the harm. As you get kind of a Bronx cheer from down there at the New York on the Coyotes bench, like finally, as he gets to go to the line and see if he can pick up the three-pointer the old-fashioned way. Evans, true. He now has 9, is walking it up the court as Quay Fuel.
See, this is when I would really force up if I was the Coyotes. I would extend out my defense, throw a little press on them.
Fouled on the play by Faulkner. And they'll send Justin Glover to the line. Justin Glover. Just a month ago, went to Matthews High School, and they put him in their high school Hall of Fame. Nice accolade to have, to be
in your high
appreciated.
School. Yeah, especially if you've done so much for your high school, it's nice to be recognized for the hard work that you put on the court.
It's 2 free throws. It's now a 6-point advantage for the Hoyas, 44-38. Bunn swings it around. Espinoza back in the game. Espinoza, the turnaround off the mark. Good ball moving by the Hoyas. Off the back bracket, no good. And the bucket by Marquis Bunn. Up his 7th point. And a kind of oops looking basket from Darren Howes. I couldn't tell if he was going to dump it off or.
What?
And going to get a block on the screen. And a timeout, because I didn't see the screen. I didn't see a screen set, so I'm
Neither
wondering
did I.
how the offensive player can get a block. Either way, doesn't matter. 5-point advantage, 46-41, still the Hoyas. 5:23 to go. More ECBL basketball coming up on headcastsports.com. (46-41), 5:23 to go here before half. Robert Espinoza picks up the foul on the moving screen, which was offensive, gave the Hoyas another possession. Rebound by Evans. Evans will find Espinoza. Bunn drives in, dumps it off to Evans. Because now it looks like the Hoyas have got some reinforcements coming in at halftime. Maybe some of the guys hit some of that traffic we hit coming down.
And there was a lot of it today.
I know, on a Saturday. Saturday in North Carolina is a deep three by Corey Evans.
I thought I wasn't going to make it on time.
Quick scoop shot. Good by Keandre Marion. Ball knocked away. Tracked down by Jarrett Johnson. Johnson drives into traffic. Dumps it off to Espinoza. Espinoza will go to the line to shoot a pair. Coyotes fighting back, but both teams not shining from the free throw line. And in a 48-46 ball game, that could become a determining factor. We're under the 4-minute mark as the finger roll by Keandre Marion splitting the two defenders is good. Espinoza. So now the Coyotes starting to work the ball inside and take advantage of their height. Last few times they pushed it inside to their big men. Ball be knocked out of bounds by Evans. He's all over the place. Glover being guarded by Johnson. Fires up the three. Man in his face. Showing no fear.
Showing zero fear. Cross-court pass, Espinoza. Starting to heat up, back-to-back buckets. Now 6 on the day. Coyotes have cut it back down to a 3-point lead, which was once a 6-point, as we're just about to reach the 2-minute 45 seconds left in the half. Bunn drives, kicks it out to right. Right, no good. Battle for it with Espinoza. Sanders, oh, doesn't punch it down. We got a little excited there. I thought he was going to punch that down. We haven't seen one this entire half.
We have not seen it. We've seen an almost alley-oop.
Oh.
Right, looking for the foul. Tipped away by Espinoza and corralled by Glover.
Kind of surprised that wasn't called, the way that the fouls have been called this game.
Nice ball movement as Fuel picks up another point. He's leading scorer. He's got 16. They opened up the side doors in the gym, getting a nice cross breeze. Reach in foul.
Got to hold down our papers.
On Marion. Marion with 3 fouls. Mays on the bench, and it'll be interesting to see who the player that was missing from the Hoyas that arrived here shortly and is in the dressing room. Oh. Shot clock violation. 57-50, 7-point lead now is the largest.
Yep.
As Glover goes
Good
to the
call.
ground. And they're going to call an offensive, so
Yeah.
he hooked him.
That was a good call.
Hooked him, and then he flopped. That's how apropos with the World Cup going on. Because maybe he was thinking he was taken down to the box.
watching a little bit of that World Cup action before he came. You know, that's what I love about soccer players. They can get completely knocked down to the ground, act like they're hurt, and then 2 seconds later, sprinting for their entire life.
Under 90 seconds to half, 57-50.
Good block
Ball
there.
is blocked, knocked out of bounds, and the officials will say last touched by Mays, who had just re-entered the game for the Hoyas. Sieg Mays having some words. And now the Coyotes will have to work quickly as there's 9 seconds on the shot clock.
I feel like they have no urgency with the ball. We saw that last possession where they had the shot clock violation or close to it, but at least they got a shot off this
true.
time.
Sanders drives baseline, finds the glass, doesn't get the roll. Espinoza drives the lane, drops it off softly. Back to a 5-point game. Under 45 to go.
Oh.
Tangled up down in the lane is Marion and Bunn. Bunn will be called for the foul. They're over the limit. So now the Hoyas will shoot free throws the rest of the way. That was not a shooting foul.
He turned his back. As a defender, you want to turn your back on an offensive player with the ball. You're not going to be able to see what move they're making. He waited too long to turn around and got caught up in him, and that's why they called that foul. Keep your back towards the basket. Never keep your back towards the person that you're defending.
Saved the bucket, though, as Marion can't connect on the free throws as we reach the half-minute mark. Sloppy ball play here in the waning moments of the first half. Mays driving, spins one way.
Nice patience with the ball.
Back to a 7-point advantage. 3-second shot clock difference. Not going to matter now. Shot clocks will be turned off. 7 seconds to go. Again, poor ball handling. Numbers if they want them. The deep three, no good at the buzzer. And the Coyotes are going to have to go in and do some work, as you see head coach of the Coyotes slam the ball in disgust. He's got a lot of work to do. 61-54 if they're going to come back. But the Hoyas just got some reinforcements. We'll have to wait and see who it is that showed up that was late. And it looks like it's going to be Desmond Johnson who arrived late. So a little bit deeper bench for the Hoyas and fresh legs, somebody who hasn't played all game. We'll be back after a short break. You're watching ECBL Semifinal Saturday. Welcome back, everyone, to Fort Mill, South Carolina, the Bank Street Gym, and Game 1 of semifinal Saturday between the North Carolina Coyotes visiting and trailing by 7 to the Hickory Hoyas. 61-54, so we'll see what kind of halftime adjustments is made as Danny Sanders is set to inbound the ball. A little bit of pressure being applied now by the Coyotes. Will Griffin, who picked up a tech in the first half. Applying it in the backcourt. Shot by Mays, no good, off. Rebound by Faulkner. And new to the court for the Hoyas is that three is by Griffin. And he now has 11. Ball knocked away. Griffin tracks it down, tries to save it. Sanders throws it across court.
He is fast.
By Marion. Yeah, Marion, though, floating through the air, and he'll pick up a couple of points. Pace beginning to pick up here in the second half. Three-pointer is true by Leonard. He'll pick up, that's his first points of the game. As I mentioned before, Desmond Johnson, the late arrival for the Hoyas, is now in the game as Sanders off the mark. Rebound by Leonard. And the little engine that could pushes it up the court. Finds Faulkner, drives baseline, gets a little help, and Sanders clips him on the arm from behind. Sanders now with 3 fouls. That sends Faulkner to the line. As Faulkner misses the first of 2 free throws. Free throws are going to become very critical down the stretch as it's now a 2-point game.
I was watching the interaction between the official and the Hoyas bench as he was explaining why he called that foul. They thought it was all ball. He's like, no. On the arm, on the arm. And they're sitting there going back and forth laughing with each other. I love watching that interaction.
Johnson fires up a 3. Griffin, deep 3, no good. Well, wasn't it earlier this year that I think a reporter, didn't he offend LeBron when he asked him the question? He said, LeBron, since you've never committed a foul in the NBA, and I remember that as the bucket is good and how he got offended. But I also laughed because I mean, you know, even when we were playing on the playground. You know, it doesn't matter. What a foul? Come on, man. What's a foul?
People get mad when you have to call your own fouls and every 2 seconds someone's calling a foul. Like, players get mad about that.
Why?
It's like street ball 101. You don't call a foul unless it's blatant.
Well, and usually
even
then you'll call it on yourself. As Sanders buries a 3. And he now has 11.
Exactly. Like, if you grab someone to stop them from going up for a layup, okay, I fouled you. But other than that, don't call a foul. Come on.
But, I mean, you're bumping for position. Somebody's going to call you for a charge. I'm sorry, you moved me off my spot. Nice reverse layup by Colwood. Giving him 10 on the day. Fuel leads all scorers with 26 points. Back to a 5-point cushion for the Coyotes.
Gosh.
Deep 3 by Griffin. Griffin's starting to heat up in the second half. Maybe that little timeout that he had on the end of the bench. It's a 2-point ball game. Both teams fighting for a spot in the championship game next Sunday with the site to be determined.
Oh, wow. Good acting.
Got him with the charge as Corey Evans hits the deck hard.
Added a little extra spin to it. Great acting. I like it.
I've never Yeah, I don't know how you get hit in the chest and spin the opposite way to fall down, but
Oh!
wait, which way was this? Which way was he going to the bucket?
Which way was I hit? Hey, whatever gets the call, man. Whatever
But
works.
the only thing that needs to be concerned about is good to see that they're noticing that they need to wipe up the floors on a day like today. We don't want to see anybody hurt, as it is rather warm in the gym today.
It is. It is. At halftime, I did some custodial work.
You did. I saw that. You jumped right into action. You saw some water spots on the floor and said, listen, this could be dangerous. And someone who has had knee surgeries and problems would be the first person to think about that.
Exactly. They're having a powwow in front of the fan, all their Gatorade and water. Got to clean it up. Can't have any injuries.
And Fuel picks up his first foul of the game.
I'm laughing because he was like, I got him, and it's like very clear that he got him.
Pass inside to Faulkner. Nice ball movement.
That was
stopped short of the charge. Good body, good control of his body.
Awesome
as he
jump
finds
stop.
Colwood, who now has 12 points. Well, the ECBL All-Stars were announced this week. We got a few of those in this game today. You got for the Hoyas right now, you got Justin Glover and Danny Sanders. For the Coyotes, Will Griffin and Corey Evans. That for the Northern Conference. Tracked down in the backcourt with a steal is Evans. Fires deep from 3. And that is going to get Jeff Newsom to call a timeout as the Coyotes have battled back and now have a 3-point lead at the 7:39 mark.
Oh, it's not a timeout. It's not a timeout. I think there's a wet spot on the floor.
It's an official's timeout. No, we'll get all this confusion out of the way.
Yeah, I think there was a wet spot, so instead of having them come back on the break or even just bring the ball down, they didn't want to have anyone get hurt, so they cleaned up whatever spot was towards the baseline, the opposite baseline.
Coyotes trail by 7 at half. Ball is off. Battle for it underneath. And Leonard brings it up. We got more action over here in the corner next to us, as we're seated right here on the near side baseline. And they're going to get Glover back in the game. Now, Glover's got to be careful. He's got 4 fouls, but the Hoyas definitely need his scoring. And here comes full court pressure being applied by the Coyotes. And they're switched to a man-to-man. Glover fires up immediately upon entrance. Griffin bumped to the floor, no call. Up ahead to Desmond Johnson.
It's kind of surprising that there was a no call.
Colwood jumping in the passing lane, knocking that ball away. Griffin all alone. Baseline corner shot off the back of the iron. Oh, two-handed scoop shot by Marion. Top of the key 3 is good. Leonard has 6 points, both by way of 3. That ball's off the mark. 74-70. Nearing the 6-minute mark. Ball out of bounds. We nearly had someone in your lap.
I was ready.
Now we're going to get a media timeout here at the halfway point of the third quarter. 74-70, Coyotes with the lead. More ECBL basketball coming up on netcastsports.com. 74-70. Coyotes have battled back from a 7-point deficit at the half to make this a ball game down the stretch.
I miss our cross breeze.
Glover, I don't know, someone turned off the AC outside and it's not coming through the doors. Glover's fouled. Faulkner's going to pick up the foul. Glover was in the act of shooting, so Justin Glover, leading scorer on the team, and they can use his offense right here. 80% free throw shooter. True with the first one. Second one kisses off the front of the rim, banks off the back end, gets the shooter's roll. Winner wins the Northern Division and punches a ticket. Oh, nice backdoor cut by Faulkner. And Corey Evans threads the needle.
That was an awkward shot.
That was pretty give and go basketball just a second ago. The other end, not so much. Ball knocked away by Glover into the front court. Got numbers if they want them. And sidestepping is Leonard to avoid the foul, and Marion picks up the easy bucket. Reminder that after this one coming up, we have the Carolina Thunder and the Primetime Players in a rematch of last year's playoffs as Desmond Johnson gets on the board. 76-76, we're tied. Under 4.5 to go here in third quarter. Johnson picks up his first foul. And he's certainly trying to take credit for it, and no one will give it to him. He was the only one in the area. I don't know who they were going to assign it to. But he was making sure, no, it's mine, it's mine. Well, they don't want Glover with 5 fouls.
No.
They need him in the game. As Darius Leonard picks up a couple more. Starting to fill up the stat sheet now. So I retract that they're not going to hit 100 that I said in the first half as Glover buries a 3.
Yeah, I didn't think they would hit. But now that we're seeing the pace pick up a little bit, shots starting to fall a lot more. It's crunch time.
Deep 3. Well, when the Primetime Players take the court, they'll be taking it probably rumor has it for the last time in this gym, as they're going to move over to the new facilities as Glover back-to-back threes. 82-78, so after a short-lived lead by the Coyotes, the Hoyas have pushed it back out.
Well, notice
to a 4-point advantage.
That Griffin isn't on the court.
Griffin isn't on the court. Their offensive spark, 3 in a row by Glover.
Not even just for offense, but for defense as well. So maybe they need him back out there.
Glover now with 23. It's a 7-point advantage, so we're back to our halftime deficit. As nearing the 2.5-minute mark here in the third. As I was saying, as Glover leans in, if he gets the charge, that's his 5th. But as we learned in class last time, we get 6 fouls in the ECBL, just like the NBA. But he will go to the bench and he will go get a rest. That's what you have to do. I'm just talking with people. It's like, listen, go with it. Make fun of yourself. Whatever. I mean, why not?
I mean, hey, when you cover different levels, it's hard to remember which each rule for each level is.
I just like I like the little kid level. I don't even have to keep score. They just give them a little participation trophy. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. Little kids even are on TV, are on streaming and on TV now. You can find them, and they will pay someone to broadcast it. Foul inside on Johnson. Johnson now, well, he wanted that one. Now he's a little dissension about was I in the air. And Paul Wright's going to go to the line and shoot a pair, 85-80.
Wants to talk about it with the official.
Just asking in position. I think every player does that. But getting back to the roll, ring around the rosy, and it drops through. Paul Wright picks up the first free throw, because they've built these new facilities over at Rock Hill that are phenomenal. There's going to be these multi-purpose facilities and to try to attract bigger AAU stuff, and that's where the primetime players are going to move over to. What I'm saying is, Lauren, if we were to do a game there next year, there's going to be air conditioning.
Oh, you mean?
I don't know. I feel like we should bring a heater if that happens. I don't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of used to this. Keeps me on my toes.
I don't know how many calories are burning in here. Wanted to travel as Zeke Mays is off the mark. Deep three by Wright. He now has 11. We're under 2 to go. Hoyas will back it out. 14 on the shot clock. Johnson was bumped, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. And that
third
will be
defender
Kyle Ball.
or second defender, depending on how many people were just on him, but looked like he had 2.
You always got to watch out for that sideline guy. Wright feeling it now.
Wow.
Back-to-back threes himself.
Holding up his hand.
14 and a point.
The love and basketball follow through.
87-87. We're knotted up. 90 seconds to the end of the third. Sanders thought about the step back. Intensity defensively is starting to pick up. Fires it up, does Mays, as a 1-on-3, but the rebound and the 12-foot baseline jumper by Sanders is true. The All-Star. Espinoza drives. Right-hander no good, but the putback is. And Jared Johnson gets a pair. Interesting that Fuel didn't lean in and pick up the foul. He found the open man Mays. Mays had a bead down inside and has the easy layup. 91-89, 38 to go here in the third. Bad pass, picked off by Sanders, a little one-on-one. He was pull up at the three-point line, no good. Ball batted out, half a minute to go.
Travel.
Caught up in the corner and takes an extra step.
Wow, surprising. Look at this substitution.
And they'll bring Glover back in with 5 fouls, and the shot clock is on, but it should be off. We only have 23 seconds to go. I mean, what would J.R. Smith do in this situation? I mean, would he know? Would he be looking at the shot clock?
Probably not.
Would he see, wait, I had an extra second on the shot clock. Why are we out of time?
Poor J.R.
Oh, yes.
That was such an insane moment.
Up and under by Desmond Johnson at the buzzer. Johnson picks up a couple points, making his presence felt after showing up at halftime. 93-89, 1 quarter to decide the Northern Division Championship. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com. 12 minutes to decide the Northern Division Championship here on semifinal Saturday. It's the Coyotes, and they've got some work to do. They trail by 4, but they have possession, and that'll get them back in it as Bond buries a 3. 93-92. Taking home some hardware. It's a nice gold basketball. Really nice trophy.
It's the gold ball.
Ooh, from NBA Jams. He's on fire. Speaking of fire, deep 3 by Fuel. And Fuel now has 29 in the game. He leads all scoring. Top of the key, shot by Leonard, off the mark. Rebound by Johnson, screaming for the outlet. Was Fuel, the West Virginia State University product. Now over to Sanders. Sanders for a 3 from the corner. Content with trading threes as Leonard pops one from the top of the key.
The Coyotes don't have time to be trading baskets. They need to get a defensive stop, get a basket.
Sanders getting a screen from Mays, finds the lane, drives, and he's fouled. The hoop and the harm.
That's the opposite of what they want to do.
Now that's 4 fouls on Paul Wright. Picks up the 3-pointer the old-fashioned way. And Griffin back in the game for the Coyotes. Nearly misplays the ball, fires a 3 from the top of the key. And Griffin continues to have the hot hand. 4-point deficit. Boy, maybe that technical was what he needed to get him going earlier today, because he's been unstoppable since then. And Johnson down low.
I want to see them meaning the Coyotes, adjust their defense. I don't like it right now.
Ooh, and Griffin hits the deck pretty hard, 5'6", walking amongst the trees. And he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. But if you're the Coyotes, if you're the Hoyas, it's not a bad foul.
No.
He had a clean shot to the bucket, and I can't speak all of a sudden. As the free throw by Griffin is good.
No easy buckets.
No easy buckets at this point, exactly, yeah. Make them earn it. I need Adeshina here with all his fancy words to help me out. Now you can text him and tell him he got a shout out today.
He's probably at some crossword puzzle tournament.
Oh, no. He's World Cupping it big time today. He was excited that the Peruvians were singing the national anthem so loud.
Ooh.
Deep 3, no good, but the putback, nobody blocks out.
Gotta box out.
And Mays, 106-100, under 10 to go, nearly under 9. Baseline, wow. Rainbow bringing rain from the corner, Jarrett Johnson.
See, this is why they needed Griffin in the game.
They definitely struggle on offense when Griffin is out there. He is certainly the catalyst.
He's the facilitator. He has his eyes all over the court. Before the shot, please.
Acrobatic shot by Johnson almost went. As he was falling to the floor, just threw it up off the top of the backboard, and why not? May go in.
Continuation rule?
It would have. I think he would have counted it had it gone in. I mean, he was definitely fouled in the act of shooting. left-hander out of Taylorsville, North Carolina. Misses the front end. Gets the pair, 108-103. Griffin being guarded by Marion. Bird dogging Griffin now, forcing him to give it up. Wise decision in there, and they finally got the travel call they've been looking for on Rodney Caldwell. He's been slowly inching back. And
he leaned back on his defender, and his defender gave out a little bit, so that messed up his footing.
Pulled the chair on him.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going to adjust the shot clock. And at 8:19, though, we're going to get a timeout. 108-103. Hoyas lead this one. Semifinal of the Northern Division. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com. .819 left here in the fourth quarter. Slimmest of margins for the Hoyas, 5 points. Certainly not insurmountable at this point, but they got their first lead in the third quarter since the opening tip. They've only led twice, and they have trailed most of this game. And
whoa, look at this! Look at the shot clock. Oh, it was just at 68 seconds.
They're going to put 3 seconds back on the shot clock as the ball went out of bounds. It was stay with the Coyotes, knocked away. This is that time of day when strange things start happening. Quick shot off the mark. Griffin has had the hot hand, has already hit back-to-back threes. And the errant pass nearly ends up in the concession stand out front. They could have got some cheap damaged M&Ms. Keandre Marion content with just walking the ball up the court, slowly chipping away at that clock. Hoyas struggling a little bit too with Glover out of the game. He's sitting on the bench with 5 fouls. I wonder how long Coach Jeff Newsom can leave him sitting over there. Johnson backs down his man, spins, no good. Rebound, no good. The putback, no good. 3 shots at point blank range, can't get any to fall. And finally the foul bails out the Hoyas.
You need like sound effects for it.
Johnson, free throw, this time gets the shooter's roll. as it rattles in and out and then falls through. Second time a little smoother. Back to a 7-point edge. Trapped in the corner, intercepted by Fuel in the passing lane. Up to Sanders ahead. The fast break, no good. And Griffin comes out of the pack. Has a man on the wing, sidesteps and decides to finger roll. And Griffin.
Definitely needed that bucket. It's been a while.
Griffin will cut it to 5, and he's starting to fill up the stat sheets now as he punches 20. Down by Espinoza. Griffin again, 1-on-2, thinks better of it.
You know, I don't understand why the rest of his teammates aren't running down the court. Why give the opportunity for the defense to set up?
And it's going to be a foul on Fuel.
See some arguing between teammates.
Saw this a little bit in the first half, a little bit of frustration beginning to build up on the Coyotes. And they're arguing over whether or not he was attempting to catch the pass and the foul's on the floor, or whether or not he had control of the ball and was putting it up and the foul, and he needs to go to the free throw line. And they've determined that it's just going to be a common foul, side out to the Coyotes. Griffin from the corner.
I don't think the corner's his shooting spot.
Can't find the range. He's hit most of his threes from top of the key in the wing.
Yep.
Looked like Johnson may have gotten away with a travel after he shoved off.
Too many second chance opportunities.
Floater by Marion. Nearing the 5.5-minute mark here in the fourth. 112-105. And you think, and just when it thinks that they're going, the Hoyas may pull away, Coyotes manage to squeeze a bucket and just hang around.
Yeah.
But they can't put a string of them together. We're going to get a double dribble or a kick. And they finally call the kick.
Wait. You can't call a kick on...
A kick on an offense? I don't... Because if it would have been a kick, it would have been on the defender.
Yeah.
And...
Oh, my goodness.
And
I mean, it might be a double
now.
dribble,
it's going to be an official's
not a
timeout.
kick.
We'll stay here because they're going to talk about it. It appeared that Sanders had control, put the ball on the floor, caught it on his body, and then put it back down. I thought they were going to call the double dribble.
Yeah, that's what, or at least because he was bobbling it.
And I think that's what they may overturn their call to, but it certainly can't be a kick because he chopped it on his knee and between his body. I mean, that's not. And if he bounced it off his foot and knocked it out of bounds, it would just be out of bounds. I don't envy the officials coming down the stretch in a 5-point ball game between two teams with so much at stake.
So I wonder what the decision was. And it's looking like it's going to stay Hoya's ball. Yeah.
So they're going to stay with a kick, and I mean maybe did he trap it on his body after it hit the
I don't even think they.
foot,
I think they just were like, no, we messed up.
Oh, Sanders from the corner. That's good.
That's huge.
Largest lead of the game by the Hoyas at 8. Can't answer, and they're going to get Espinoza for coming over the back. Nope.
No.
Thought he came over the back of Mays. Although the It's not really over the back. It's a shove. I don't know where the term over the back came as a foul. It's not. That's. Shot off the side of the backboard. Sanders pushing tempo. Try to put this thing away. Knocked away. Coyotes need a bucket. 4.5 to go. Take trail by 8. They're going to their scoring machine, and he wanted a foul as Johnson got a piece of it, and now he just grabbed and pulled on Marion, and that was on Corey Evans, and Evans now has 4 fouls.
In a way, that was a smart foul. It broke up their fast break, the potential to get an easy basket.
But then you get into that argument that, okay, he grabbed him. He made no effort at the ball. And, I mean, so don't call them flagrant fouls, but it's certainly intentional. I mean, I don't know why they're not shooting the free throws, and they're going to get Espinoza on the push. And that's 5 on Espinoza. And he's going to say Johnson hooked him. And they're quickly going to bring Faulkner back in the game. Getting very chippy with the officials right now. Griffin picked up a technical in the first half. They may want to be careful. I don't know that the officials have a very long fuse today.
Griffin.
Nice give and go to Glover. Can't find the mark. Rebound by Sanders.
Wow.
Sanders up in the air. And
wow.
Someone just got teed up.
I don't understand that call. I really don't.
He was out of control. Forced the contact.
The defender didn't even move.
And the defender has a right to his space as Johnson hits the tech foul. More importantly, I think Calwood, did he go to the bench? We're trying to sort all this out because depending on who the foul is, we may have also had someone foul out. Calwood's still arguing with the official.
I want to know what the technical was.
Right, they immediately signaled it after the uproar. And I'm going to assume since Calwood is still body language over there and talking to the official as the free throw is good by Sanders, that it may have been called on him. But he's asking the same question you were. If he's allowed to have his space and he gets plowed into, Sanders is true for the second one. Why is he?
I don't even think he was inside like where the circle would be.
Either way, under 4 minutes to go, and now it's an 11-point deficit for the Coyotes. Have possession. Deep three, off the mark, no good. And Glover says, let's slow this pace. Probably look to work a little bit of clock here. Reach around foul on
That's not
Corey
smart.
Evans.
That's not smart.
And the other part is they're playing really good defense, and the shot clock was under 10 again.
He was getting. I think he got chippy because Johnson was kind of being chippy while he was.
Johnson's shot is good, and for somebody who showed up at halftime, he's just picked up his 12th point and extended the lead by 12. Now he'll push the lead to 13 with his 13th point. Calwood drives, kicks out to the wing, no good, off the mark.
Oh my goodness.
Rebound Glover.
You just have to wonder, is this where
nice dish by Glover. He found his man cutting down the lane.
Yeah, where the train starts to fall off the tracks for the Coyotes?
And now it's a 15-point lead, and the Coyotes can see it slipping away at the 3-minute mark. They'll take a timeout. 122-107. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com. 3 minutes to decide the Northern Division champion, and a lot of work to be done after the timeout by the Coyotes as they now trail by 15 as the wheels have started to fall off the bus. And trailing 15 with their offensive spark in Will Griffin on the bench. Bunn, three-pointer from the corner, that'll help. Still a lot of work to do. They'll pick up three-quarter court pace. Johnson gets it over to Sanders in the front court. Sanders not shy, he's an all-star, he'll fire it up, no good. Rebound.
Oh.
Big possession here for the Coyotes if they're gonna stay in this thing. Espinoza drives in the stunk!
Yay, a dunk!
Espinoza.
It took until about 2:30 left in the game for us to see a dunk.
Brings it back down to 10, 2.5 to go.
Yay. What was that?
With 7 on the shot clock, he throws it away.
Do you think he was like closer to the basket?
I don't know if Mays lost
control
the ball on the way up, and so it looked worse than it was. Faulkner thought about the three, hits it back outside to Evans. Bunn kicks it over. Evans again, three from the corner, good. So 2 back-to-back threes have cut this down to a 7-point lead. Minute 45 to go.
See, the problem with picking up man is when you have someone who doesn't realize who their man is, then the full court man does not work.
Glover got away with a shove. He's playing with 5 fouls. Knocked out by Sanders. A little frenetic pace, and Hoyas will make a change. They'll take Mays out of the game, and they'll reinsert Fuel. So they'll put their top 3 scorers on the floor with Sanders, Glover, and Fuel to finish out this last minute and a half as we take a timeout. 7-point deficit for the Coyotes. Championship on the line of the Northern Division. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com. .90 seconds to decide the Northern Division Championship in Game 1 of 2 semifinals you'll see here today. 122-115, lets it fly. No good, bodies hit the floor. Rebound Johnson, and now he gets fouled. He'll be fouled by Espinoza, and if it's on Espinoza, that will be foul number 6. So he will watch the rest of the semifinal from the sidelines. And they're going to say that it was on Bunn, who was in the general vicinity. He caught a break there. And all Johnson has done since he's arrived at halftime, he's got 14 points. And he's perfect from the line.
He's legitimately soaked. His jersey is soaked. You would think that he played the entire game and not show up at halftime.
Faulkner, they've got to shoot. 3 off the mark. Rebound Espinoza. 2s aren't going to help him. He fires up a desperation 3, and he's fouled by Fuel. Oh. And Coyotes screaming about techs for the Hoya players questioning the fouls as they've been teched up twice. Minute 7 to go.
My main question for this entire quarter, where's Griffin?
How do you have a guy with 25 points? He only has 1 foul. 25 points on the bench.
But not even just for the points. He's speed. He's a defender. Where has he been this entire quarter? We're halfway through. I think he got pulled out.
Second free throw of 3 attempts is good. I expect he makes this. I expect full court pressure from the Coyotes. And they don't set up. They let him get the inbound in. And Johnson, why not? I've got the ball in Johnson. He's shooting 100% from the free throw line today, and he's fouled by Bunn.
That's a foul. You're reaching in. Just because he's bouncing off doesn't mean it's an offensive foul. You're reaching in, you're retaliating. They always call it the person that retaliates.
And head coach for Coyotes, not a happy camper right now. Oh, he finally misses from the free throw line off the mark. So he's now 6 of 7. 7 of 8. Not a bad day. 16 off the back of Espinoza, but nice give and go pass, even though he wasn't expecting it. 45 seconds off the mark. Another dunk and the miss. That is the epitome of what's been happening with the Coyotes today. Is Espinoza does get his own rebound, stolen by Evans, back-to-back buckets. 125, 121, 37 seconds to go. And the last guy you want to foul has the ball. And now it does depend on who it's on. You had 3 players.
I just feel.
But they called it on the arm, but. And I think the Coyotes coach is about to get kicked out of the game.
He's just a little lively right now.
My goodness.
You just fouled the wrong person. 4-point ball game
with half a guy. Well, I mean, I'm going to get the ball in Johnson's hand all day long. I mean, the guy's 7 of 8. Now he's 8 of 9 from the free throw line. I mean, that's your.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, the coach is worried about who's not getting, technicals called on him for, hooing and hawing. And I'm sitting over here wondering why you got a guy on the bench with 25 points.
Just fouled.
Yeah, back here in the backcourt.
I mean, it's smart because no time had come off the.
And time is, it's a 5-point deficit. But it puts him on the line. He'll put Marion on the line. At least they didn't foul Johnson.
True. I just think this whole fourth quarter, or the end of the fourth quarter, was mismanaged, unfortunately, for the Coyote side.
I mean, if you lose this game by a couple of points and you've got your leading scorer on the bench, then you only have the coach to blame. It's not the officials. The officials take no blame in that. I mean, the fouls are.
You have your spark plug, your jitterbug.
The jitterbug. Nice.
On the
bucket
bench.
Good by Marion. So 6-point lead, 30 seconds to go. Bunn loses in the air, gets away from it, avoids the travel. Tracked down by Glover. He can dribble out the clock, and he'll be fouled. And the leading scorer on the Hoyas team, averaging over 25 points a game, is going to go to the line, and he can put this thing away.
And you see, Bunn's trying to point the fingers at his teammate for not grabbing the ball off that pass. But that was a pretty bad pass. You mishandled the ball. Don't get mad at your teammate. Don't get frustrated at your teammate for something that could have been avoided.
Bucket's good. Lead now up to 7. 22 seconds left. Shot clock's turned off. Second one by Glover's good. And Espinoza slipped on a wet spot on the court. Bunn's no good. And they can just dribble it out. No reason to shoot. 13 seconds, no foul. And they'll find it in the corner. Johnson's just going to dribble it out, and that's going to do it, folks. The Northern Division champs here, the ECBL, the Hickory Hoyas, punched their ticket here today with a hard-fought 129-121 victory over the North Carolina Coyotes. And they will await the winner of our next game, which will start approximately 15 minutes from now here on netcastsports.com. So don't go anywhere, because we know the World Cup's over, so you're not watching that. And that will be between the Carolina Thunder and the Primetime Players. The Primetime Players try to punch a ticket to their 4th straight ECBL championship game. Trophy presentation will be going on shortly, and they just had it. But we thank everyone who listened to us today. Take a quick break. We'll be back with more basketball in just a few moments. You're watching ECBL basketball on netcastsports.com.